Now, look, I'm someone who observes people a lot. And this is what I've discovered, that everyone with an addictive aura, you know, those people who just attract people, guys that for some reason attract women, and women for some reason that attract a bunch of men to want to be with them. What are those qualities? Because the truth is, it feels like they have an aura. It feels like something magical, something out of this world. But the truth is, the aura that people have is built upon little habits that create an aura, right? So we're going to be talking about what are those things that you guys can do to create this type of aura, to emanate an attractive aura. I'll be honest with you, this is something that, like, if you're a guy, for example, and you could really go above and beyond how attractive you are by just applying these, you know. And for women, what you'll notice is that guys will just naturally be more drawn to you. You just have a wider pool in men, and the key for this is that they have to know you in person, right? Because this is the thing: this aura does not work if they cannot interact with you. So this does not work on online dating. This does not work if you're just walking around the street. This type of aura is something that develops over time. It's an aura that you see from far away, and you notice that there's something different about them, and you can only notice this aura through seeing them multiple times. They have an effect on you, and this effect is something that you guys can replicate in your life. Okay, this is actually one of my favorite videos. I came up with it today, and I am really excited to share with you guys this information. Always understand that the thing that creates an aura usually is because they're sending contradicting signals, right? It's pretty much at the core of it. Like, for example, I met a classmate last year who had this type of aura, and one of the things about her aura was the fact that she had contradicting traits. She had a feminine body, but then she had a masculine personality, and that aura, she just gave off the aura of somebody who was feminine, like with the way that she looked. But then when she acted like a dude. And I'm not even gonna lie, there was something that a lot of people in school kind of just were drawn to her, right? And it's because when you blend opposites, it shows confidence. Because anytime we as humans identify the opposite traits in us, we sort of get scared. And what you have to realize is that this ability to blend in the masculine and the feminine, it shows confidence, because you've seen it and you've embraced it, where other people see it and they push it away. So we unconsciously are drawn to people who is able to integrate the opposites, because usually people reject it, and it creates a caricature of a man or a woman, right? So they send contrary traits, and these contradictions, when we see it, it doesn't make sense to us. We're like, what the fuck am I seeing? And that what the fuck am I seeing creates an aura. It gives them more mystery. You can't understand it. They're ungraspable, right? And this friction creates a fire. They stay attractive as long as they stay ungraspable. They tease more than unite, more than anything. They trap people emotionally. When you get too close, you tend to sense a coldness or an opposite of the image they give you. And what tends to happen is that the coldness, a lot of the times, or the opposites of what they show on the outside, draws us in more. It doesn't repel us, right? Now, these traits that I'm talking about doesn't make you into the perfect partner. Sometimes people with these traits really are not good partners, right? People who are addictive a lot of the times aren't great partners to be with, because they tend to be only this attractive from a distance or temporarily. Because these people can sometimes, when you actually get to know them, sometimes they're kind of crazy, right? Sometimes there's a reason why they're attractive short term, right? It's because that's their zone, right? And that's why we have to be careful envying people who have certain traits that we don't, because what you don't realize is that some traits come with a price, right? Like being a super attractive man, a lot of times comes with them not being able to be faithful, right? It's a plus that comes with a negative. Now, let's talk about some of the things that they do, right? One of the things that they do is that they never flirt. They never fully flirt with you. You're going to confuse them flirting with you with them paying a deep attention to you. And that's the thing about them, is that if you give people the impression that you're outwardly flirting, You're not sending contradicting signals. Always have an alibi for yourself. Always give yourself space to move to the side. In other words, always act in a way that you could say that you can have a plausible deniability that you were not flirting with them. Always make them feel like, are they flirting with me or no? Now the problem with that is that if you're a woman, every guy is gonna think you're flirting with them. You know what I'm saying? If you're an unattractive guy, every woman's gonna think you're flirting with them too, or being creepy, right? So it's kind of like, this is why I would prefer, if you apply these strategies, don't apply these strategies the first day or second date. You want people to sort of not assume that you're flirting with people. So that's why you got to let them come to you. And eventually, if you actually are somewhere long enough, everyone is going to eventually want to talk to you, because they're going to say, okay, who is this person, right? So it's best off to have a friendly appeal and let people start off the conversation, so that you could, so that it doesn't seem like you're the one pursuing these things. Because the key to being someone who's really addictive is to first get people to initiate the contact with you. And it's not that hard. It just takes patience. Now, if you guys are interested in applying these strategies to become more addictive to people, to become more charismatic, to draw people in, and you guys want me to listen to your story and see whether or not you're applying these strategies the right way, because a lot of the times we're just doing one or two things wrong that you're just not aware of, and all of a sudden you talk to me, I tell you what to do, and all of these strategies all of a sudden work. Right? Sometimes you have emotional blind spots that you need someone like Father Alex to guide you in the way of the truth. My truth, people. Yeah, that's right, people. It's a call. I'm kidding. No, but seriously, if you guys want one-on-one coaching, individually, to talk to me today, well, not today, I'm kind of busy today and tomorrow, but you'll be able to book a call with me and have me on the phone. Not an AI, not an assistant, not Mrs. Alex, but Father Alex, people. Yeah, that's right. So I help you guys with coaching calls, relationship calls. We're not a therapy, people, but I do give you guys my advice on your situations. Now, you might ask yourself, well, would anyone want to work with a man who calls himself Father Alex? I don't know. But I'm honest. I give you guys my honest opinion, man. It was so ironic, because most of the people that come to me for advice really just come for me for honesty, because they tell me I'm the only one on YouTube that will give them the honest truth without caring. And honestly, that's kind of the truth. Right. So never fully obviously flirt with people. Right. Now the next thing is that you have an air of coldness and in a sense of distance. Yet you're warm and close at the same time. This is how it's done. That girl that I told you about, one of the things about that she did really well was the fact that she really listened. When she talked to people, I noticed, because I'm a creep, she will always be like this, listening, right? And the impression that gives is that this person likes me a lot. But then one of the things that she did a lot was the fact that when she talked to you once, the next day she wouldn't talk to you. Or she'd be friendly, but then she'll pick someone else. And I remember just observing her, and I'm like, that's an interesting character. But then I noticed that a lot of people found her charming. Like, a lot of people would just gravitate to her, where she will show complete attention, and then the next day she'll be distant but friendly. And I think that kind of fucked with people, because it kind of fucked with me too. I'm like, what the hell's going on here, man? The hell, right? Right, their distance doesn't exactly make us angry, right? Because it does offend. And actually, if you're a really nice person, you might hear this, you might be like, well, I'll never do that. But that's why really nice people cannot do this, because nice people feel an obligation to continue the conversation the next day. These motherfuckers don't give a fuck, right? Or maybe they moved on. But the point is that their coldness, their distance might make us angry, might confuse us, but then it offends us, and then it makes us drawn to them. And then the next time they pick us to conversate with us, you might even notice that you might feel a little bit validated at that, right? An example of that is the sauna guy, the gay sauna guy. I remember I played basketball, and there was this guy who was in a sauna, and he would say hi to me sometimes, but sometimes he wouldn't say hi. Well, no, he wouldn't. One day we had a long conversation in the sauna, and I'm like, why is this sauna guy looking at me? And why is he talking to me? He was this kind of guy that every time at the gym, he walked naked with his fucking chest out. I'm like, bro, put your dick back inside, bro. Like, he's that type of person that is almost like he liked walking around naked. And I just fucking hated that. Anyways, I'm like, man, not this guy talking to me right now. He started having conversation. And then we had like a 15-minute conversation. I'm like, that went fast. Because I'm like, first of all, I thought he was going to, flirt with Father Alex. I'm like, I can't be flirting with guys naked, not even naked, just in general. So then we had a conversation. I'm like, nice to meet you, Steve, right? And he left. The next day, this guy wouldn't even look at me. And I'm like, what the fuck is going on? He would just walk by me, wouldn't even say hi, and I got offended. Now, he never said anything to me after that. But a part of me was like, come on, bro. We had a good conversation. I know you, but we're friends, man. Say hi. Right? The hot and coldness confuses people to the point that they'll get more drawn to you to understand why you're behaving irrationally. People like to make sense out of things. So if you act irrationally, people will be drawn to you to make sense out of you. That's why when you act irrationally, people are drawn to you, right? And rationality, that's another topic about rationality, why people fall in love. We might even include this in this video about. And now remember, the hot and cold is not being psychopathic, okay? So it's not like one day you're happy and the next day you're super depressed. Hot and cold is just a variation in your energy. You see, people have a very consistent energy. And the only way for us to really pay attention to people is when their energy shifts. When somebody's energy shifts, we pay attention simply because we want to find out what's going on. Something is not normal. Something's happening that we haven't truly processed. So we pay deeper attention to them. Just like when somebody's acting out of character, acting weird, we sort of worry for them because they're acting different, and so our emotional investment increases. So a shift of energy is something that happens a lot, but we try to hide from public light. Sometimes we feel sad and we don't show it, and so we try to be our normal selves. We have to accept fluctuations in our behavior. Days when we want to talk, days we don't want to talk, and be okay with expressing that to people. What it'll give is that you might look, for example, I had a friend, a classmate named Brad, right? One day we were using a lot of his tape. He got pissed off at the class, right? He was like, hey guys, I'm not a charity here, okay? So you guys got to bring your, oh no, it was towel. He's like, you guys got to bring your own towels. You guys just cannot be using mine. We were like, what the fuck? For that second, we were like, God damn, this guy's an asshole, right? But what it does is that it creates a fear of making him angry. It's like it's like working with an ex-military guy, and he's always serious, but sometimes he smiles, and the bouts of coldness makes the warm, like the guy from Parks and Rec, right? The one who always eats steak. If he was friendly to you, you kind of were happy because you know he's not friendly to everyone. With him, he needs to be a little warm, but you guys can understand what I'm saying. Like, it's okay to fluctuate. In fact, fluctuate not in an erratic way with extreme emotions, but fluctuate in a subtle way, and you'll notice that people just are more drawn to you. The next thing that they do is that they start, in terms of relationships, okay, in terms of relationships, they start fast and finish fast, right? That's the first type of addicted person. They start fast, they love bomb you, and then they disappear all of a sudden. Then the next type of person is that they start slow, right? The slow starters are addictive. And these are the slow starters. The slow starters are the slow starters are the ones that the slow starters are the ones that friend zone you. The slow starters are the ones that you first know them as friends, and then over time you start to develop feelings for them. Those are really addictive people. The fast starters are the ones that love bomb you for the start, tell you how much they like you, give you gifts, like just bomb you with attention. And depending on your personality type, you're gonna fall for one of those two people, okay? But usually the ones in the middle, they're nice, don't get me wrong, like you're being in a relationship with them after like 2 months, that's understandable. But the slow starters are the ones where you kind of fucking suffer on the inside until they're either single or until they notice that you're actually flirting with them, right? And the fast starters, like I said, they raise up your hope fast, but then they leave you fast, right? Now, the next type of person that is really addictive is, now the next thing is that they have a dark side, okay? People who have addictive personalities have a certain darkness about them that draws us to them, right? They have a certain evilness. You could sense that you could trust them, but there's something about them that has a darker quality. And the reason why that's so attractive, it's like the bad boy aura or the bad girl aura or the Like for example, like the babyface assassin Steph Curry, like the mix of your light side with your dark side. Rasputin, the guy who is holy but the guy who will bang your wife, right? The guy who appears to be a saint but at the same time has a darker quality. Those people draw us to them. They are magnetic forces, and whenever we see a partner that has this quality, we are drawn to them. For example, you might be someone who's holy and goes to church. You might meet someone who is into drugs and into adventure. I could promise you, people who are holy, people who have a disciplined life, is going to be attracted to that person because deep down they're repressing their hedonistic side. So they have a dark side to their personality that's hedonistic. So anytime they see someone that reflects that darkness, that reflects that dark side, they become naturally drawn to them, right? Anything that reflects your dark side, you're just drawn to them. Just like anyone who reflects your higher self, somebody, if you're in the dark side and you're in a lot of addiction, and you meet someone who has their life together, you're gonna be drawn to them because they represent something you want to be. But the problem with dark people, not black people, dark people, the dark people is that they tend to, like a drowning person who's trying to get rescued, they drown people with them. That's why you don't try to rescue people who are in the dark phase. You can stay away from them. But the problem is that knowing that makes them more attractive, right? Knowing that makes them more alluring because they're forbidden. You can't have them. They're seductive in that sense. And because you can't have them, because you know they represent something bad, because you know they could get you in trouble, right? You are just drawn to them like the laws of opposites. You are drawn to people who are sometimes not good for you. You are drawn to people who are toxic for you. So this is the part that gets a little toxic, but yes, toxic people who have a dark side, well, not every person who's toxic has a dark side, who has an integrated shadow, are attractive. Why? Because the shadow side, like I always say, is the contours to your personality. It's what makes you attractive, what makes you seductive, and what draws people to you. Your light side is what makes you look normal, not psychopathic, is what makes you look more socialized, is what makes you roam around the world. But it's your dark side that has your kinetic energy, your dark side that has your creative energy. Your dark side is what draws your partners to you. Your dark side is the part of you that is attractive but that cannot be seen. It is the shadow behind the person, right? So you have to embrace your shadow. If you don't embrace your shadow, we talk a lot about it in my videos, but your shadow side could also mean your pain and suffering, right? Where you're super depressed, and that shadow side of your personality, the depressive part, attracts people to you. Where you're super angry, and a lot of people will be attracted to the angry side because it gives you polarity. Your dark side is... Now, the next thing is that they have narcissistic traits. Okay, this is why I tell people, don't be a narcissist. You could have the narcissistic traits, just have empathy. I'm not gonna lie. As long as you have empathy, you're not a narcissist. Okay, but people can have narcissistic tendencies because of insecurity. What separates narcissists from not real narcissists is that usually it's because of insecurity, and usually people who are not narcissists have some level of sympathy and compassion. I mean, that's pretty much the only difference, right? I mean, I could be wrong, right? There's always narcissistic experts out there correcting Father Alex, but it could be true, right? So this comes in confidence, charm, which I told you, where they pay attention to you, where they make you feel like you're the only one there. They pay deep attention to you. And then what they do is that then they easily lose interest and not pay deep attention to you. And that contrast can be very addictive. They have high energy and they have mystery. Why? Because narcissists keep a arm's distance away from you. They are faking the act. And because they're faking being friendly, they can't stay friendly for too long. That's the problem, right? So they have high charm. It's like Super Saiyan 3, right? Where Goku could be Super Saiyan 3, but because he's so strong, he can't stay on Super Saiyan 3 for too long because it exerts too much energy. So it's the same thing here. Narcissists can be charming, but only for a short period of time, and so they need their distance. The problem is that distance draws people to them, and it annoys the living shit out of a narcissist, right? So that's one thing, narcissistic tendency. And then above all, the narcissists have an air of independence because they're so charming, they're so confident that they have independence, which makes people want to do what? What do most humans do to wild things? They try to domesticate it. You have an air of independence. You have confidence in yourself. And naturally, people want to put you down. Not put you down, but want to make you submit. Naturally, people want to domesticate you, just like we domesticated animals. It's a human tendency to exert our power of dominion over our environment, our power and dominion over other animals, over other people. So we try to domesticate them. Oh, I could fix her. Oh, I could fix him, right? And that tendency tends to draw us to the wildest people. And the problem is that you cannot domesticate a beast. You cannot domesticate somebody who is way too independent, who is way too individualistic, who has no sense of community, no sense of somewhere, no desire for commitment. You cannot domesticate that. But the problem with the human animal is that we find that to be a challenge, and we are drawn to that. And the reason why we're drawn to that is because most likely you have low self-esteem, right? Your attitude towards yourself you become attracted towards people who reflect your own attitude, right? So if somebody's being distant towards you, just like you are distant to yourself, you're going to be drawn to that. So if you have high self-esteem, these people, they're not going to be addictive to you. So that's the only way to insulate yourself against those people. Now, the last thing is that they hint at sexuality, right? They have a hint of sexuality, not too much sexuality, but enough for you to pay attention. Where a woman could be dressed normal in a very professional way, but she has messy hair. Where the guy looks professional, but there's a hint of sexuality. Not too much sexuality to the point where it's inappropriate, but enough for you to notice it, but at the same time not notice it. Enough for it to hint. Where everything's professional, but maybe the woman's showing a little cleavage, right? Where the guy shows off, has a professional attire, but he makes sure to show off his muscles, right? A hint of sexuality is a cherry on top of this mixture, all right? Anyways, hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. If you guys want to work with me one-on-one, click in the description down below or scan the QR code and I'll see you guys. Now, if you guys want to apply some of these strategies,
so a lot of you guys have been asking me, how can I purchase all of your courses in one go? Well, if you guys want to purchase all of them, you guys can join the Mindful Attraction University, people. Yeah, that's right. And in this, you'll be able to access all of my courses for $3.99. Initially, if you purchase all of my courses, Emotional Mastery, Psychological Game of Attraction, my new course, The Feminine Woman, Natural Chemistry, Charisma Blueprint, Nice Girl, you guys can purchase all of it for $600, but with the bundle deal, you guys can purchase it for $3.99, or you guys can purchase it in 3 easy payments of $125, people. Yeah, that's right. Or you guys can purchase it with the bonuses. So you not only do you get the courses, but the bonuses, and that comes down to $7.99, or 4 easy and mindful payments of $199. Now, these bonuses are not regular bonuses. These bonuses are legit, almost like courses within a course, right? So you guys can just click on the description down below and explore the types of bonuses. For example, I have bonuses on how to get over your ex, how to become more creative, how to, especially in the feminine woman, I have a bonus about how to penetrate the mind and how to speak in a way that gets people to do what you want them to do. Like, it's honestly one of the craziest sections that I've ever made, because most of these courses, people, I come up with those ideas in meditation retreats. Nobody goes to the extent that I go. I go to meditation retreat to create these courses. There's a 14-day money back guarantee. If you don't like it, just ask me for the money back within 14 days, and I'll give you all the money back. Father Alex has never rejected a money back offer if I offered it. So, and if you guys already purchased one of my courses, for example, and you guys want to get the bonuses while getting a discount, you know what I'm saying? I have discount codes for people who purchase my courses. So if you purchase my courses, just send me a private message. Or if you work with me one-on-one, I'll give you a big discount for the courses. And there I can help all of you guys understand that this is a movement. Most people never knew this type of knowledge before. And I am trying to empower women across the world and liberate them from these negative and one-sided relationships through these courses. So hopefully you guys can spread the message and help other people out. And I'll see you guys inside, or else I'm close to